20 days.
I'm just saying. You know,
Quiet.
like,
It is my bad. I forgore to make the announcement that is
our judge is a what's it called? What are those Fox people called?
Idiots.
That's weird. But yeah. Because wait, hold on. Did Bandito get a chance to defend his document?
Apparently, Bandito challenged it, but he never challenged it to me, so I don't care.
Oh, that's yeah.
Where is Bandito?
Supposedly, he challenged it.
Okay, yeah. I will say, Oshiro, this is quite unfortunate because, like, you know, Bandito did work quite hard on that document. And, like,
no, he didn't. Okay, well, hold on. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
All right, cool.
I'll be completely honest with you. I never directly received any objections. Callsign made a passing mention of somebody objecting to it. I said, hey, look, if someone's objecting to it, tell them to come contact me. Nobody ever did, so there's not really much I can do with that, as I never received anything. Anyway, the document.
All right. I mean, I guess we'll have to go over it here.
Oh, no way, Yakta, real. Just quickly have a glance over this again. That's fucking tragic, that image. Yeah, that's the image of the log. Ah, the infamous Shimazu anti-cheat. Yes, right.
Right.
I have 200 tabs open. Positives. Yeah, the Shimazu anti-cheat thing. I have no questions about that.
How do you get pinged in the VC? Oh, the chat.
Okay, so one of the people challenging it admitted to exploiting, and that is an apology document. How did someone manage to appeal that? Yes, Yakta. Document loosely made. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Clips. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
Nobody has provided a valid objection to this, and this document is good.
I would object. Actually,
the Michaelcyc1e one. He's talking about the Michaelcyc1e document.
The appeal one.
Yeah, the one that.
If Rocco wants to object, that's fine. I just want to be able to refute whatever he says after.
Right, I mean, clearly we're gonna have a discussion here because.
Yes, so you know. Rocco will speak first.
I guess this will be our opening statements. So I would just like to begin by adding some context to the Michaelcyc1e ban, which I think you might not know because you weren't really in the genre and you weren't in the position, so it's understandable that you wouldn't be able to, and it's sad that Bandito's unable to. So the way the Shimazu anti-cheat, right? It's quite controversial. It's a little bit buggy. It's not the best anti-cheat. But what makes it more compelling in the Michaelcyc1e case, in my opinion, is the way in which Michaelcyc1e was caught using it.
Elaborate.
I'm not sure if you know the context on that. So basically, the way that Michaelcyc1e was caught using the Shimazu anti-cheat is it was added to a BG, which it would not.
That's crazy.
Please continue.
Right. So it was added to a BG by Bandito with the assistance of Tuna. Who was like the person who was kind of pushing for the anti-cheat. I've actually been against it because, I just didn't think it was like super, reliable, but it does catch HB for what it's worth. Like, it's just very questionable for it to be held like without, right? Or like without Osuran supervision. But in this case, Bandito had added it to this BG without Michaelcyc1e's knowledge. And in previous cases, Michaelcyc1e had been on the Shimazu BG with the anti-cheat and it hadn't logged him. And then after this, Bandito had compiled quite the list of clips on Michaelcyc1e. And what ended up happening is they add it without Michaelcyc1e's knowledge. He plays in a PR, does well, and it logs quite a lot on their anti-cheat in which the server Osuran's in. So, yeah, that's kind of like the context to how Michaelcyc1e was caught on the anti-cheat. So
Okay.
yeah.
So can I go now?
Yes.
Feel free.
All right. So the first point being that Shimazu anti-cheat and the server that Osiren's in, I'm also in that server. I also have full access to the logs. And as it says in the document, I am able to send fake logs. I'm able to send logs through the game to the webhook. And I'm able to send messages through the webhook, whatever I want. I'm not saying that they faked it. But that's definitely something that is at least theoretically possible, right? Another thing is that it does catch cheats. I will say that it does count. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words. It does catch some cheats, right? It catches very, very outdated scripts. It catches scripts that you could probably find off of YouTube. But as someone like Michaelcyc1e, who's been involved in the SEC for months leading up to his genre ban and log on the anti-cheat, by the way, it is very easy for him to obtain a script that would easily bypass that. And taking into account the knowledge that Michael knew that there was an anti-cheat at the Shimazu battleground, there's no explanation for him also playing well at that battleground and not getting logged. It's not a case of he plays at another battleground with the anti-cheat, does well, and gets logged. It's just that it's imported into another game. It happens to log him for whatever reason. You could say that since it's a very old and archaic anti-cheat made by Trash Star and Tuna, that it might not work. It might false positive. It's never been tested for false positives. I'll tell you this. Tuna said that it was tested, but it never was. And looking back at this log server, it's also logged people that just straight up do not cheat, like Illusiona. And things like that. But the second point, I think you said about the clips. The clips are all explained in the document one by one. None of them are ever enough to get somebody banned on their own, right? Because all of these clips individually are explainable, right? But an amalgamation of all of them, it may seem convincing, but these are all clips that are taken on servers halfway across the world from where Michael plays. We both play in the same servers, and we both die that exact same way, like all the time. All the time. None of those clips are grounded in anything other than just a server that's halfway across the world. Anyways.
Can I respond to your first point?
Yeah.
All right. So you said that the anti-cheat might not be entirely reliable, and you don't think it's enough to get someone banned on its own.
No, and you have said the same thing. You argued the same thing in the Battle Mod chat. You said
exactly. I would agree. It's definitely not enough for someone to get banned on their own, and it makes when someone gets banned with simply the anti-cheat logs, it's really weak because that anti-cheat is not so strong. But with the other evidence of like the 20 clips or so that Banlido had gone alongside the logs, and the
12.
in the manner in which please don't interrupt me, in the manner in which Michaelcyc1e was caught using it, in which the one time he didn't have any knowledge the anti-cheat would be on the thing, he does get logged on it. It makes it quite suspicious, and really, I think, does add some credence to the evidence in the clips that Banlido compiled.
Okay, I can agree with that, but I would also like to bring up the point that anti-cheat was known to be there at the Shimazu Battlegrounds. So, furthermore, why would anybody relevant in the community also get caught on it, right? If it's known, like Illusiona.
What? Okay, I never brought that up. My point was that Michaelcyc1e
I know.
not used it on there and gotten to, and also it wasn't entirely known. Like it was known to like moderators, but like for example, like Illusiona, he could have cheated, and Miaslip was probably caught using it cheating because she didn't know. It wasn't known to the community. It was known to moderators that anti-cheat was there. Miaslip almost guaranteed was caught using it there. I'll be honest. Like
so that's not true.
The anti-cheat, but Miaslip was definitely cheating.
So that's not true because people would always talk about in the FJ main chats about it. So
I mean, but it's not like common. If you're some Ashigaru or like if you're only in the Suwa Discord, you're not gonna know that the anti-cheat's there, right? Unless you're like a more prominent figure, right? But it's really off topic in my opinion. I don't think it holds that much weight that like people might know.
the point of the argument, right, is that if somebody doesn't know, right, that it's not
Right.
there, they're gonna cheat and get caught.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is what
So with that knowledge, right, why would somebody that has knowledge of the anti-cheat being there cheat and get logged?
I don't know, but that's just like we can argue like all day whether or not they might have been cheating. But I think we can both agree that Miaslip was likely cheating and was caught using it, and we can.
Yeah, I can agree on that, but
people didn't know that the anti-cheat was on the Toritomi BG.
we can argue it all day long, and that's my point. Is that if we can argue it all day long, then it's not really grounded in anything concrete, is it?
Okay, right, but we both this is literally pointless. We've both agreed that the anti-cheat is not the best. But we've also both agreed that in the circumstances of which Michaelcyc1e was caught using it, it makes it much more suspicious, and it adds credence to the evidence that Banlido like provided.
I would say that I agree with that if the clips weren't really bad, and they're all EU clips. So in this case, no, it doesn't really add that much credence. It makes it good for like a little flashy document to show to Osiren, who, no offense to him, doesn't really know a lot about exploits. I'm sure you can.
I mean, he
agree with that. You can agree with that.
About exploits to like understand the document, I would say.
He can understand it, but he's easily convinced by it. Is what I mean to say. Like he doesn't.
I will. Well, I mean, we're speaking of Osiren, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will attest to that, as I have spent years advising him on this sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You may have even advised him on the Michaelcyc case. I'm not sure.
I had nothing to do with this one, actually.
Osiren literally has exploits. I feel like he'd know what it is.
That is, well,
he did use them.
He does possess them for testing purposes, and has tested things in the past. However, it's not his realm of expertise. It's one of the reasons I'm a moderator and why I'm in this position.
Yeah, Osiren's testing of the anti-cheat just went so far as to see if he gets logged by using Blizzy, which is the most widely known script that there is.
This is why I discounted his testing when I was considering this appeal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, of course it'll log Blizzy, right? It works in that capacity. Really, any other script, it doesn't work. Tuna's told me this himself. I know more about the anti-cheat probably than anybody here. I could tell y'all whatever you want to know about it, but the fact of the matter is that half the logs on it are actually false positives, by the way. For fake limb FTI, I'm looking at the server right now. It constantly logs for fake limb FTI. That happens from firing a Tanegashima. Right, so obviously this is not an anti-cheat that is made for FJ, right? Okay. This is an anti-cheat that has been stripped down, that's had a lot of features removed, tweaked with, by two people that really don't know what they're doing all that much. It's made it fit for FJ.
With the Michaelcyc1e logs, it wasn't like merely like a single a fake limb FTI Tanegashima shot. It was multiple consecutive logs, which I don't believe would be characteristic of a Tanegashima fake log.
Multiple consecutive logs just means that whenever a sword connects with a hitbox, it'll send a log, right? So if somebody gets logged on something and it spams it, right? It sends a bunch of messages. That's one instance. That is one instance of a fight where it's picked up.
How did Tanegashima have triggered that multiple like times? Like I'm assuming it's just like from like.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as an example to show how scuffed this anti-cheat is.
Honestly, I feel like we're wasting time. We both agree that it's not the like most obvious or like the most clear piece of evidence for Michaelcyc1e's ban, and we both agreed that in the context of how Michaelcyc1e was caught using it, it does lend some credence to the evidence. So I think we should just move on to.
It all goes into the fact that none of it is grounded in anything concrete.
I would like to ask of Michael specifically if he has any recordings from his own perspective.
That's a good point.
If he did, it would likely help his case a great deal.
Right, yeah. Your own perspective alongside like clips, like typically if you're
He
getting
has
accused of being a
SEC
cheater,
clips.
it's very easy to like clear yourself just by clipping your own kills.
If you can
Like-
find any from FJ around the time when you were banned, then those can be looked at.
Is it okay if he runs it through me what he says before he says it?
Yes, if you so desire.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
I just want to make sure that he doesn't butcher his words or anything.
right.
Don't worry, most appeals cases are dealt with people who don't really know the fancy kind of English used in the court. It's fine.
I get you.
Half the time it's Turkish people having people translate for them. So whoever that is climbing about in the rafters, get down. Sit in the line.
I guess while they're running through things, I would like to bring up a concern I have with the document being like not so clear for Oshiro's sake. If that's all right with you guys.
If you so wish.
All right. So basically, on the document, it says like that Michaelcyc1e is no longer registered with the clanware like the XLPLT list or whatever, the exploit list. And that is true. He is no longer logged, but it's not because his case was thrown out, which it claims in the document. His case was archived because I believe it's either 3 or 6 months after your case you are like unbanned. So he did appeal and it was rejected, and after that it was then thrown out because of age and also clanware switched to a new system.
Okay, so can I refute that?
Sure.
Can I ask how you know that?
Because
can I ask how you know that his appeal was rejected?
Because Michaelcyc1e appealed during that time, speaking with the moderators, and I was in Anagakoji at the same time in the same clan, and I do remember him complaining about how they were treating his case and how they didn't do that. So I don't have any evidence of that because the Anagakoji Discord was deleted. But yeah, that is just my. I mean, if Michaelcyc1e wants to claim that he didn't appeal and he didn't, which multiple of us can testify, I believe Jino as well. But from what I remember, and I believe others in this call, he did attempt to appeal and it was rejected by the clanware staff.
I don't remember specifically it got appealed.
Okay, hold on.
Denied,
Can I respond?
I do know he was trying to.
Yeah.
So okay. So at first his clanware case was being deleted. His appeal kept being deleted by a mod that thought he was an alt. Clearly that's not the case. He's not alt. So he took it up with someone higher than him. He took it up with it was like one of the justice directors or whatever. And he proved to them that he's not an alt, and they had him look at the recreations of the clips that he. By the way, he got onto Clanware for like 2 clips.
Yeah.
That's beside the point. But anyways,
Yeah.
I helped him with this. So we were talking with that director, and he said that our recreation is good, and he apologized for like one of his mods deleting it over and over, and he's been unbanned for a while.
Okay. I guess I would just like a clarification from you. I already know this because I saw it in the Clanware Discord. But was he unbanned? Was he appealed, or was he unbanned because of like there's time limit? Like
He was appealed. I mean, it was in a group chat. I'll see if it still exists.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't appealed because he was unbanned after like approximately the time it takes for your case to be archived on Clanware. And I haven't seen anything. And when Michaelcyc1e was trying to like appeal earlier, I remember like something on chat.
Again, I have to ask if you have proof of this.
Right. Okay. Here, let me just look. Search.
Okay. But anyways, his Clanware case has nothing to do with his ban. As B mods have disclosed, the reasons for his ban were specifically for everything in that document, the log and the clips. those are the two things I got.
It was just addressed in your document, so I just wanted to add some clarification to it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, anything else, Yoshiro? Oh, did Michael say it? Yeah, I think he said it in game chat.
Chat logs.
If he didn't send it already.
No.
Okay.
Do you
Easier.
have any clips, Michael?
Right. That would be quite literally if you just said some clips of. I mean,
if you have clips from your own perspective, we can deal with this pretty quickly. Hello, Ujitaka.
Are you talking about clips from just in general?
Yes, none.
Okay, so here, if you guys want to take a look in let's see, there's a channel I can post.
Post it in the voice chat's chat system.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good point. So it seems as though. Oh wait, can I upload things here? No, I can't upload things in that chat.
Send it to me.
All right. Looks like right here, as of October 28th, it seems as though he was not appealed because he was, still trying to get appealed. And then the Lincat, who is the administrator, says you're archived anyways. So if you're asking to be appealed and trying to get that off your record, it wouldn't make sense for him to be appealed, unless obviously they can provide evidence that afterwards he did get appealed by Lincat or another administrator.
I will post the picture for the benefit of chat. There it is.
Archived is another word for appealed. If a case gets archived, it's either archived because of time passing, archived because of an appeal.
Right. So then I would just need evidence that it was an appeal rather than an archive, because yeah.
Well, you're the one.
I feel like normally when you get appealed, it's appealed and it's deleted rather than just archived. But I mean, if you can provide any evidence that it's actually
because it's been appealed, that's what that means.
Okay, right. But if you don't have any evidence of it actually being an appeal, then it really just seems like it was approximately 6 months in his case. But that's just my perspective.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we can get onto the clips now, if that's what is next. And yeah, again, if Michaelcyc1e has any clips to send proof against any of those clips, it would have been very helpful.
I have been looking over the clips while you've been speaking.
I think he said it in game. He said that he didn't basically recording an FJ is if you're required to do it. Other than that, I don't know why anybody would record an FJ.
Some people do, but
I mean,
unfortunately not in this case, it would seem.
Well,
because he has been genre banned once before for some weird thing in custom duels, and then obviously that was disproven very fast, and he was unbanned without any requirements.
I see. Allow me a few more minutes to look over the clips again.
And coincidentally, Rocco unbanned him or sent him.
I did unban him because the first ban wasn't very good.
Not a funny coincidence.
The first one was kind of
right.
Was mainly just because of the Shimazu cheat, and when they got him on that,
I do have to go soon.
Clips, and they lost.
Yeah, so do I. I'm gonna quickly look over them, and I'll make a decision.
Okay. If there are any, other, pointed concerns though, before you do make that decision, I'd like to be able to explain it.
I'll be honest. It seems quite rushed. Especially if band leader didn't have a chance to defend his document, and we don't even have a chance to go through the clips then I feel like possibly the trial should be delayed. Obviously, like there's a lot more time.
It says on the
It's
for the sake of fairness. And
it's my bad on the timing of this, by the way. I forgot to make the announcement, and then I told Call Sign, and then he also forgot until this yesterday evening.
Right, but I feel like
which is my bad.
For the sake of justice, I feel like it makes sense to delay it instead of just doing a rushed trial in which basically I have to I didn't even make the document and defend Van Lito's perspective as well as just defend the obvious clips as well. It just seems kind of pointless to rush it through.
I don't see how it's being rushed through. I think it's being carried out like every other trial.
But it isn't though, because
I don't see why Michael has to be delayed after we're already all here.
The reason why he wants to stall, or not like that, but delay it, that's a bad choice of words, is because at least on the document it says it was written or released on the 7th, and then this guy completely forgot to post it after a couple of weeks.
Right. And all that very much my bad, guys.
Right.
So people only had maybe a day and a half to look at it. Maybe
is that a short amount of time to read a 3-page document?
Yes, that is a short amount of time to refute an entire document of which you
usually a few days is fine.
At least multiple days.
So how would you? Can I ask how you'd spend that time preparing for this? Because I don't see how it takes more than a day.
Looking over the clips and writing out the thoughts and explanation to the counter the document, because clearly Van Lito had made comments disagreeing with the document, but he didn't have time to even respond, and it's so entirely unfair to the genre for us to be unable to attempt to refute the document, of which I was on the Battle Mud team when it was and I entirely agree with the original document, so none of us had a chance to look over it before. 24 hours.
So Rocco, can I ask?
Yeah.
Can I ask when you were aware of the announcement?
Approximately 12 hours, and then I had work, so not that much time. And clearly Van Lito didn't have time. So if no one has a chance to, typically when there's a document, there's normally a document to refute, and 24 hours just is not adequate time, and it's also not DodgerCon procedure. So it just seems, unfair for it to be, not delayed and just rushed through due to time constraints on both sides.
So I assume that you did also do your diligence to reach out to Van Lito before the trial happened.
I didn't
I'm
have
assuming
time.
that
I had 24 hours.
You had 24 hours to send them a DM, and it doesn't look like you did.
Allow me to consult my...
It's not only Van Lito's responsibility or choice to defend. Everyone has an opportunity to attempt to defend that document, especially myself, who was involved in the ban of Michaelcyc1e.
So if Van Lito has 24 hours to do something about the document, right, then it really only takes a few seconds. Really.
How long did it take you to write this document, to create this entire document in form?
I didn't write this document.
Okay, how long? How long is it?
It took him about an hour and a half.
Noting that Call Sign DM'd me regarding what Bandito said at 1 o'clock this afternoon, which was 8 hours ago. I told him, hey, get him to DM me. He never did.
Right, but also...
Order.
Really, a trial has 2 steps, right? Or 3. The appellate makes a document and sends it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The DodgerCon schedules it, and then the 3rd step is the trial happens. That's 3 steps that can really all be taken within the same day, but, of course, DodgerCon, whatever.
Disagree. In fact, this is not the case. I think you're mischaracterizing the process, and I would like to
I will explain in no uncertain terms how this is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
The scheduling of this, to read the document.
Right.
Just not very much. And I do apologize for that.
Yeah.
I have been looking over the clips as well, and to be entirely honest with you, they look like run-of-the-mill exploit evidence from the mod team, which I have seen 100 times before in the last 3 years.
Right. To be honest, there are literally
Hold on, can you let him talk?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
If you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I just said something.
I've seen dozens upon dozens of clips like these over the years. I've heard every argument under the sun regarding ping and bad servers. But a lot of what I am seeing cannot be explained by bad ping. There have been many before who have had this exact same debate with me and various moderators. Ping on its own, unless you have proof of what your ping was during these events, is not a defense. Unless it was catastrophically high, it does not explain what is in these clips. I say this because I am, or have been in the past, an exploiter.
Oh, shit.
Plot twist.
Damn.
Damn.
Not in FJ, mind you, but I have exploited in the past, and I know how these scripts work. In order to pass that off as ping, bearing in mind that usually the typical 200-300 ping that most people have is 2 or 3 milliseconds, it takes a lot more than that to create the effect seen in a lot of clips like this.
Okay, so can I respond?
Yes.
I would like to talk about a clip.
So
after Taka.
of course, regular ping and sword fighting, even high ping, it does not recreate that, right? I can fully agree with that, but you're taking elements that you said that you have never gotten a chance to, I guess, exploit with. That being horses. Horses are very, they're high speed. You have a linked sword, and you're running at each other, right? I believe that with ping and servers, of course, everybody under the sun that's been accused of exploiting will say ping and servers, right? And sometimes it'll be right. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense to say that. But in this example, I have died, several times the same exact way that I'm seeing Michael kill these people, just by people in, Hattori or Turkish Tokugawa. Even in 2024 post Bifron, nobody can really exploit on computer. A lot of these clips are very, on surface level, maybe like, whoa, what the hell, this guy's cheating. But there's certain elements like, other things such as a log, or the fact that he's new to the genre, or the fact that he's like a default Roblox character with watermelons flying off of his head, right? There's a lot of things that might add up to make it seem like, okay, this guy is unusual, and I don't think that any of these kills are legitimate at all, even though, these are 2 high-speed cavalry people running into each other. I think that it is perfectly valid that, the game is just a little wonky here in all of these clips. And I believe that with enough time, you could compile a lot of these clips on anybody that usually plays on high ping on other servers. So that's my piece.
Do you think I can
in the interest of permitting a proper refutation. Yes, I realize that my internet's not doing good right now. In the interest of, undoing my fuck up with the scheduling. We will reschedule this. I will adjourn the court for 1 week, the same time next Saturday, and we will do this properly.
Hey.
Yes?
Yeah.
Hi.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Excellent. I thank you for your time, and I apologize again for the per scheduling. You may go.
Alright.
Arigato. Sayonara. Sayonara.
Hello, OJ.
Hello. Goodbye, my friend.
Good day. Okay, hi, Kara. Hello, Norbert. It's been a while since I've